This is an introduction to the Forrest Manufacturing Model 204 Heavy Vertical Blade Traveling Table Bandsaw. The 204 family of saws for us all are built with two 20-inch diameter blade wheels. To a large extent, this defines the geometry in that we have a maximum 20 inches of horizontal throat available. Really, we advertise 19 inches with our 20-inch wheels here. We can make these taller, but that horizontal throat is fixed by the size of the wheels. The heavy part of the name relates to the table. We have two styles of table, a cantilever style table and a heavy or rail mounted table. The cantilever table works like a desk drawer slide. I've got other videos introducing it, but just like a desk drawer, you can only pull it out so far, or you can only put so much weight in your desk drawer before you dump your whole desk over. For those cases where I have a customer who wants to cut something very large or very heavy, or both, we do this rail mounted table. So we have the traveling table mounted on hard casters, supported and guided by these 3-inch square tubes. So we can make these absurdly big, and we do. This one though is a nice compact size. We have a nominal 60 inches of horizontal throat, 60 inches of table stroke. I believe we got 4 or 5 foot of table right of the blade. And I think we have a working blade length of like 28 inches or so on this machine. This is a built to order machine. All the 204 heavies are built to order because the requirements from different customers vary so much. So if you want the table wider, longer, machine head taller, whatever features you want, we can accommodate you. This machine has our pneumatic blade tensioning. With this on the machine, I can run up to a 1-inch wide blade. I think right now we have a 1-inch by 0.35 blade, 3/2 per inch hook tooth style blade. Pneumatic tensioning has a couple of advantages. It lets you accurately control blade tension. So we use a pressure regulator and an air control valve to control the cylinder, and that gives us very close control of blade tension, which leads to better blade life, more accurate cuts, and when the time comes, it's much easier to change the blade. The traditional style of blade tensioning, which we use on many of our saws also, is a screw over spring mechanism. It's reliable as an anvil, everybody understands how it works, and nobody ever sets the blade tension correctly. This takes care of that. This particular machine has a variable speed powered table drive. So we can do this table just as a manual traverse, so put the workpiece on here and push the table to make the cut. This one has a powered table drive. The customer for this particular machine is cutting very heavy items. I think they're cutting, it's either 80 or 100 pound per cubic foot urethane tooling board, pretty big pieces, so heavy. And pushing it would be an option, but motors are better. In addition to just being less work, having the powered table drive with the variable speed allows you to accurately set your feed speed, and a even feed speed of the table, pushing the workpiece into the blade, gives for a much nicer and more accurate cut. Better all the way around. So this requires a control panel. This machine has our basic control panel. It's not really all that basic. So, panel here, we have a cord running in just temporarily to power it up. Fuse disconnect, we run controlled voltage 120 volt. The table drive is on an inverter. So in the panel face you have saw start, saw stop. This does have a magnetic starter with an overload, tension and detention with a motor fault indicator and a blade fault indicator, either of which will stop the machine. So if you don't have sufficient air pressure or any air pressure at all, blade fault, blade motor won't run. If the motor faults out, either the table drive or the blade drive motor faults out, flashy red light. So then you have your tension detention switch. The controls for the table, we have a forward and reverse button plus a table stop button. We have 2 speed control knobs for the table, forward and reverse. What we found is that our customers will find some speed in the cutting direction that works for them, maybe 25% of full load speed or whatever, and they want to set the forward speed control knob at that, and they don't want to change it. After you make a cut, when you're moving the table back to the home position, to get ready for the next cut, that's dead time in your cycle. So you want that to be as quick as possible. So everybody just leaves the reverse speed at 100% to minimize that dead time in their cycle. This machine also has a laser. Now we're not quite to the point where the lasers are doing the cutting. This is just to show where on the workpiece you're going to make the cut. I also call this a safety feature. In short, if you see the red line on your hand or body part, move your hand before you make the cut. Easy enough. I'll do a quick sample cut for you here. What I have to play with today is a structural insulated panel, also goes by SIP. There's different versions, there's some steel, some wood. This is, I want to say it's an oriented strand board, about 3/4 inch top and bottom panel with about a 6-pound foam in the middle. So it's a composite panel, wood, foam, wood. Very popular for construction nowadays, particularly in cold environments because it gives great insulation values. I do have a lot of customers cutting these with both standard and built to order saws. I also have customers cutting the metal SIP, so metal skin, foam, metal skin, same concept. Like I said, the blade I'm using today, 1 inch wide, 3/2 French, blade speed about 3,000 feet per minute. What I'll do, I haven't cut one of these, so I'm not quite sure, well, not lately anyway, what my feed speed will be. So what I will do is I will start with my forward speed at 0. Then I'll start the saw motor, I'll start the table advance, and then I'll slowly increase the speed to feed the workpiece into the blade. And most of the workpiece is hanging off to the right there. It should be okay. So I'll start the saw, start the table forward, and then bring up the speed. And I expect this to cut pretty quickly. Oh yeah, no trouble at all. Zoom in a little for you there. I can go quite a bit faster than that. No trouble at all. So this is actually quite an easy item for this machine to cut. This machine's actually spec'd out to cut, like I said, 80, 100 pound cubic foot material. So if you have any questions or would like to discuss a specific application for a 204 heavy or one of our other saws, please feel free to call or email us at Forrest Manufacturing. Thank you for watching.